All right, boys. So if you truly want to make fuck you money, and by fuck you, I mean so much money that money loses value, where the only things you can't really buy are like jets and yachts and shit like that. And the only way to do that is by having a system which you can scale. So obviously you need to understand the strategy, the logic behind it, how much you're risking, but also realistically, like think of it like this: out of 1,000 people, 10 to 20 will make money. Out of those 10 to 20, a handful, like 1 to 3 maybe, will make fuck you money. So the reason why people don't make money is because of the psychology. So to put yourself in the best position, I think you are much more better off having a system which is simple, concise, so you can make decisive decisions under pressure with emotions, but also fewer refined variables are a lot more easier to scale, and you can be a lot more consistent. You can track the variables in more depth compared to more complicated variables which you have to track, because there's more room for error, more room to be subjective, and so on. And understand that as the more money you make, the demons also get a lot harder. Meaning, so let's just say if you risk 10k, and the whole goal is, realistically, if you want to be able to risk 10, 20k on a single trade setup, then you need to have a deep understanding of your system, or else you lose your head. You have to have a system which you understand to such degree that even if you lose 10k on a trade, you would, if that trade setup presents itself again, you would risk 10k on it again. Why? Because you know 8 times out of 10 it delivers the move. Let's imagine we've got GJ and it pushes to, let's imagine you've got some shit like this. This is a terrible drawing, but you get the point. Let's say it pushes to a 61 fib, a key level on Wednesday, end of session. This is a trade setup where you should risk a decent amount of money on it, because even if it fails, then the backup is likely to deliver. And let's say if I was risking 10k on this trade setup, I'd do it again, because I know that if it breaches, then I can risk 15k on the backup, because the odds are in your favor heavily if you've got alignment and so on. But essentially all you have to do is that and it's the same thing like this. Imagine this is the probability of a pullback. This is the chances of a miss. This is terrible handwriting. But essentially, at what point, so the stricter requirements you have, meaning the higher the probability of a pullback, the more chances of you missing the trade. Because if you're looking for more requirements, if you want there to be alignment, to be this, whatever it may be, but as long as you understand this, then you know how much you're going to risk on. And this is why we categorize the trade setups. And that's why by the time the money catches up, I will have experience with putting money on like a bunch of different trade setups, applying this logic where even if I lose 10k on this trade setup, it doesn't matter. I'd risk 20k on this one, and even if that breaches, I will have a backup plan. But I know most of the time it delivers from here, but I'm still prepared in case it does go down there. It's a fucking bulletproof way of trading, and the demons are a lot harder. So that's why you apply a safer approach. Because if out of 1,000 people, 10 to 20 make money, out of those 10 to 20, a handful make a shit ton of money, it's not really the strategies. The strategy doesn't define you. It's your execution. So a strategy does help. It will have the pretty big reflection of the profits, but I think your PNL is more a reflection of your discipline, and strategies, it can just have a much better result. That just it differs, but it's not the defining factor basically. So I hope most of you do want to make fuck you money. So that's why I would say start going for that safer approach, where you, or like, imagine if you do the same shit again and again over time, there will be a point in time where you're doing the same shit just with people's yearly salaries. You're doing the same thing again and again. You'll have a deeper understanding of it, and by the time the money grows, like it's you become so much more in tune, I guess. Like, it's just the same shit again and again, simple shit, just based on logic. You grab your balls, you risk money on it, and also it helps so much even knowing that whenever so like one of my best weeks ever, it's always the weeks where I'm waiting for trade setups to come to me. So as long as you're prepared, a trader makes money when their preparation meets the volatility. If you are prepared for August, you might be a good trader, but the liquidity is low and you're just forcing it. But if you prepare for volatility, meaning August, it might be a solid month in terms of the strategy, but based on the strategy, tech is less of interest to the market participants, but also there's fewer participants, so choppier price action. Why not just stack more accounts for September? It's that preparation for volatility. But when there are opportunities, if you take the safer approach, if you know that all you do is just fucking follow your plan, and your plan is a very safe plan, then you've got peace of mind knowing that even if, because of, and this strategy as well, it works so well because of the way it's built. Everything complements each other, like with profit taking, when you're being overextended, coming to a level with alignment and so on, where even the trades that you take, they've got a solid chance of delivering. If they don't deliver, the backup will deliver. And as long as you only take safer trades, the ones with a stricter requirement, then you're making money. There might be an opportunity, but you're not taking that opportunity at the cost of potentially missing out. You're only taking higher trade setups. And often it's always the case where if I'm trying to force it, so my best weeks are those where I let the trades come to me, but whenever I try force it, I always set myself behind. And for the sake of a few days, so let's just say in a few days, this is the gain that you make. For the sake of a few days worth of gain, you end up setting yourself back weeks, because then you have to recover this. I don't know, this is a fucking terrible graph, but you get the point. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So learn to walk, pick up your pace gradually, and get into rhythm, because confidence and belief is a big thing as well, and also because having a very simple system is a lot easier to scale. And then once you pick up speed, then you focus on becoming more and more efficient. And always is the case of most successful traders' journey. You start off risking more. You risk more with less capital, and then you risk less with more capital. It is a game of capital. You have to get as much capital as possible, but then just understand 1% is 10k of a million. And if you can imagine you do 3 to 5% with 1 mil capital, that is 30 to 50k. Now imagine, so I'm at this stage where for a year and a half, I've been able to consistently trade profitably by myself. So, but even then it takes time for you to go from like understanding the strategy to then being able to apply the strategy to then consistently like extracting money. It's so I got funded, got a few payouts, lost the funding, but that I lost the funding not based on the strategy, but because of my own execution. And it's human behavior, and there's nothing, like, everyone does it. It's like, imagine you're in a room where there's 100 people, 99 of them are saying, oh, I don't wank. But literally in that room, 99% of people do it. And it's that same shit. Everyone pretends to have it figured out online, but it's just fake. It's human behavior, and human behavior is predictable, and the behavior required to be consistently profitable, it's not reflected in those that claim to be profitable online. They can't stay away from a vape. They care more of, like, they are more involved in gossip, which shows where their priorities are, and their priorities are more on other people's perception of themselves. So they would rather be perceived as someone who has it figured out rather than, like, basically chatting shit to make themselves look good. But point being is, now, like, I'm on that path of scaling my funded accounts to get to a stage where I only take less trades. Where, imagine 3 to 5% of a mil is 30 to 50k. You do that on a few months, like, then you use this money to invest into other ventures, and you go fucking clear. So we are heading towards a crash, a controlled collapse to bring the yields down, but there's always these events which happen where there is a shift of monetary power from the poor to the rich, the same cycle again and again. But if you position yourself in the right way, you're clear for life. So that is the plan for me as well, especially. I think it's not impossible. It's all about belief. There's two types of people. There's like two types of men. There's two types of men. One who believes he can do it, and the other believes he can't. Both of them are fucking right. So you have to be able to see it, make the changes necessary required to achieve it, and it does boil down to how badly you want it, because the more you want it, the more you will make the changes necessary. And it is all about changing our behavior. If you want it bad enough, you will change your behavior to become someone that can not only just trade, because it's not just the analytical skills, it's the execution, holding on to trades, runners and so on. It all is about discipline. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video.